you, but I love the trope found family. There is just something special about it. Anytime it's got a manga, I'm like, this is pretty sure a guarantee that I am gonna really enjoy this story. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. So excited to be sort of kicking off an event for the month of November. Sort of doing, I don't really have an official name, but just capturing the spirit of Thanksgiving with Shoujo manga. When I recently did a poll, no, it was more of a suggestion kind of thing of what kind of prompts would you like to see in November? I got plenty. And don't worry, if you see some of the suggestions not in this month, then you can know that some of them are going to be coming in the month of December, and I'm really, really excited. But today, somebody did suggest, what about family trope in manga? And I absolutely love just that suggestion and this prompt, this theme, all of it. And when I was brainstorming, I said, I really want to do some underrated series. Like, one of the first series that comes to mind, maybe it's the same for you, is Young of the Dawn. Perfect example of amazing found family trope. I love it. It's great. But I was like, again, everybody's thinking of this one. Snowy the Red Hair, another series. It is in my top 10 favorite shoujo manga. I love and adore it. Another perfect one for found family, but it's another series that quickly comes to mind when it comes to this trope. So that's okay, Lara. So let's put on our thinking cap. Let's really do some brainstorming for today. So here are 5 different shoujo titles that I feel are underrated, or at least don't get, say, as much hype, say, as Yona and Snowy the Red Hair. And hopefully you feel that these picks do it justice. And these will be in no certain order. But starting off with number 1, I am woefully behind on this. And a friend of mine actually has my volume 1, and that is Colette Decides to Die. I do have a first impression of this series, and it is incredibly heartfelt in the first volume that I read. Thankfully, my library does have the other volumes, so if anybody wants to vote for it in my 25 Days of Shoujo manga that's coming up next month for my event that comes up next year, then you know what to do. Anyway, sorry, I had to insert that. But it's about a young woman. Her name is Colette, the female lead. She's very overworked. She works in an apothecary in this village, and she just feels really run down. And so she's by this well where there's a rumor that if you fall down the well, I think there's a rumor anyway, that if you fall down it though, that, you know, probably your life's gonna end. But the thing is she decides to fall down this well, thinking that's what's gonna happen. But no. She meets Hades at the bottom, and come to find out, Hades himself is much overworked. He has this rash, and she goes in sort of to doctor mode and decides to help him. And he sort of reminds her of her passion as being an apothecary, and just, I feel like, not another reason to live. I wouldn't say it quite like that, but I feel like he just that passion she had comes back, and she's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And there's this beautiful theme of life and living the fullest of your life. Very beautiful, and I need to catch up on it. And while I am behind, and maybe in volume 1, there's not a huge theme of found family, I definitely feel from things I've seen online that this manga is perfect for found family trope. Colette, when, I don't remember what happened to her family, but she is alone. And I do feel this village has adopted her into a family of sorts, but she's not really connecting in that kind of way. I feel like it's when she meets Hades and she starts getting attached to these other people, the skellies, as I like to call them. They're so adorable. I love the skeletons in this manga. But, you know, she sort of brings them into herself as family as well. Like, it's not just other people. And so I feel like, and especially with Hades, I know this is a romantic manga as well, but I do feel that even before there is that romance between them, that there is this sense of finding a bond in another person where, like, oh, we're really, really similar, and being able to encourage one another because you have that similarity and that relatability. There's a lot of, not a lot, but I do feel like you see this glimpse into Colette's heart in volume 1 of this pain and this sadness, and Hades comes and comforts her. And again, I guess you could say it's romantic, but I feel like as a whole, and before it's getting overly romantic, that just that found family trope is starting to be explored. In volume 1, it's laying, I feel like, just the foundation of that Colette is gonna find new friends and new allies, and we see this already, but it's just going to keep building until she has this beautiful, beautiful family. And we do see from a flashback that she had one of the most beautiful moments in volume 1 of when she meets again a certain person. They don't really remember their life due to how they are in that moment, but she sees and has these memories of how cared for she was and how loved she was. I think it's very beautiful and impactful. I seriously honestly really, really need to catch up, especially since, again, I really strongly feel that that found family vibe is just going to be continued throughout the manga, and we're going to see so many different characters where Colette's going to feel so loved and seen and cared for by people that she, or creatures she may have never imagined, and she is just going to thrive as a female heroine. Like, I have zero doubts about this, and I would love to hear if you've read ahead. Let me know if you feel that is true or not. For number 2, this is a series I actually read from the library, and I was flipping through my old reading journal, and when I saw it, I said yes, and that is Sand Chronicles. Last year, this manga actually won in my Laura's Reading Review Shoujo Spree that I do every year, where you guys vote for a manga you want to see me read, and then the top 3 most voted series by the end of round 3, and Sand Chronicles is one of them. If I check my review, you can. It was a very emotional series, and found family is just everywhere in this manga. Yes, there's some messiness and some drama and some romance, but from, in case you're not familiar with it, from the beginning, we see our female lead and her family. I think her parents just divorced. She's moving out to the country, and she meets these 3 other kids who are very different. 2 of them are siblings, and she just falls into this new way of life, and they have been there for her, not just since she has moved there, but even when she goes back to the city, even when horrifying things happen and some traumatic and upsetting things, sob-inducing things happen near the end. I feel like there's somebody from one of those characters, I can't remember any of their names except for the female lead, but all of them at some point have been there for her. They have tried to comfort her, maybe not in the best of ways, thinking about one of, not the main male lead, but another male lead, thinking about him and how yes, he cared for Anne in a romantic sense, but at the same time, he loved her deeply as a friend and wanted to see healing and help where she could thrive in life. Like, these 4 characters come together, it seems like at a variety of different times in their lives, where you know that this bond they have is so much more than friendship, that they view each other as family and care for one another just as a family would. It is beautiful. It's, again, messy, but it is a very, very emotional series. I don't remember if I cried during that video review, but I do know I got very emotional because the theme of hope never ever ends. Like, even during the darkest moments, that thread of hope, it may be hanging on by a single strand, but it is there. But we're talking about family, not hope. But I feel like it's a very beautiful, impactful series, and definitely one I would recommend if you're looking for something that is very emotional, but has some beautiful storytelling at the same time, and definitely has that found family trope that just shines at multiple moments. And very thankful that Anne had this found family when things were going on with her own family, that people were there for her, that she, even though I think sometimes she might have struggled to believe it, that she knew that there were people in her corner, people who wanted the best for her, because girl needed that at multiple moments in this manga. For number 3, another series that instantly came to mind, Victoria of Many Faces. And I sort of feel like I would say cheated, but when we did my manga news video this week and I revealed the cover, or shared the cover, excuse me, for volume 3, I mentioned Found Family, and it was in that video, that very moment that I was filming. I was like, yes, that'd be perfect. So this was technically the first one that came to mind, and oh, this is such a good series. We have an anime that is coming. We got an anime announcement adaptation of it, and so I'm like, yes, it is about our main female lead here, Victoria, who, well, I mean, that's not her real name, but that's the name she goes by. She is a spy for one country, but she ends up leaving. Goodness, I'm blanking on a lot of small details today, but she ends up leaving that country and creates a whole new alibi. I think I'm using that word right, but she creates a whole new self anyway, and presents herself differently, wants a whole new way of life where she's not a spy, just a civilian. And lo and behold, to her dismay, maybe, she ends up, I feel like, adopting this young girl, and they just have the most beautiful moments as this newfound family. They never knew each other. I mean, things even look good when we first meet this young girl, and I honestly feel like it's a moment that you can really like cheer for Victoria as a heroine, because you're like, yes, thank you for seeing this young girl, going out of your way to help her. And while it might have seemed just like, well, I'm just gonna help her out for a day or two till her mom comes back, no, Victoria's treating her, I feel like a daughter. I think she might reference her as like a younger sister in the series, and even then, like, it is so much that found family. And then when we get the male lead, where's volume 2? Yeah, right up here. And then when we get the male lead in there, like, he is bringing the found family vibes too. Man just screams family man, honestly. Like, yeah, it's like the whole thing, it is so good. Definitely has inkling of romance, and there is a light novel that is available by Yen Press. I've mentioned this before. If you like Spy Family and you like the found family vibes in that, but you don't mind something more slice of life, less action and whatnot, and you don't mind the missing the Anya shenanigans, this is one you need to read. The art is cute, and I really love these really fantastic slice of life moments that we get, and just seeing, I mean, you're really here for the found family vibes, in my opinion. Like, this is it. This is the ultimate, maybe, out of all of these, I really feel like has the strongest found family vibes, and seeing how they grow together. I mean, yes, we're invested in Victoria, of seeing things, her country's not happy that she's not a spy for them anymore, and wanting to find out where she's at, more information. There's things along the way that sort of leave Victoria worried. So you have that, but ultimately, yes, I feel like it's just those small moments when Victoria's teaching, when she's teaching the young girl here, I forget her name as well, but she's teaching her how to fight and how to climb a tree, how to read. It's very, very exciting and very beautiful and heartfelt. I'm very excited that we're getting an anime. I think I even mentioned in an older video that I would love to see this get an anime adaptation. And yes, and then another one that's mentioned in that video also is getting an anime. So I'm 2 out of 5 right now. I gotta see what my other 3 were, because I don't remember what my other 3 picks were in that video. But it is incredibly sweet, and I would highly recommend it as well, and cannot wait for volume 3 to come out. I think I just pre-ordered my copy the other day, because I'm like, I don't want to miss the chance to see more of these found family vibes, because I love it and I need more of it. For number 4, I don't know, when originally I first thought of this series, I said yes, and I don't know, it's not a trope I feel like I think that comes to mind, but when I was thinking about this series, I feel like it does fit, and that is In the Name of the Mermaid Princess. Such a beautiful series, and I need to do a video review of it because I would love to come back to these characters. It's such a heartfelt series. It's about our main female lead, Mio, who lives in this kingdom where unhumans, they are highly looked down upon, and the thing is Mio herself is a mermaid. She is considered an unhuman, despite that her father is a human, and I believe her mother was as well. She is supposed to, at the beginning, we see that she's engaged to the prince of a neighboring country, and her father is trying to get rid of her unhumanness by giving her medicine to keep her permanently human. There's a word for it, but they send Yuri, who was part of the other country, they send him sort of like first before the prince that she's engaged to, and he is telling her, like, what's wrong with you being a mermaid? Why does your father want you to get rid of something that makes you unique, makes you special? She actually ends up getting more or less banished from her country and fleeing, trying to go to this prince that she's engaged to. And as she's on this adventure to get to him, she makes so many different friends along the way. And I feel like these friends, for example, like July, hold on, let me get the covers. Yes, here we go. I feel like characters like July, who start off as a friend, that friendship just deepens into these family bonds where they could just not be separated even if you wanted to. I mean, yes, Danny may point that he may go do other things, but ultimately his home, so to speak, is with Mio. And I feel like Mio, despite that she is in a relationship with this prince and everything, and she has obligations and she does genuinely care for this person, that I feel like there's still a strong part of her that considers her home to be where July is, and July thankfully is with her. And they're one of my favorite characters that seems so shady at first is this guy right here. I forget his name. Like, oh my goodness, he had some concerning things. Yeah, he was pretty shady at first, but I feel like he became one of the ultimate allies. And yes, he's an ally, but I feel like when she meets him and they start to befriend each other, and I'd say, gotta get the right cover, thankfully everybody's on here, but I would say, like, when she meets Yuri, despite the things that are with Yuri's character, if you know, you know, and this young female here, and I think that this, I'm not gonna show the final cover because I don't feel like they really became friends, but there are just so many people that she meets that are just so much more than just a passing ally or someone that she temporarily makes a friend and then never sees again. Like, no, these are characters who have become involved in Mio's life, and as they just continue on these adventures, it's like when harm comes to that person, they are looking at them like, this is my family. Like, they're about to injure my family, and I have to do what I can to keep them safe. And Mio feels that way about them, and they feel that way about her. And it is deeply beautiful to see these ties strengthen as the manga goes on. It is so beautiful, and I especially love the friendship between July and Mio, even though at the end a character was trying to do some things. I said, no, we ain't here for this. We here for the family and the friendship. But thankfully everything worked out, so it was okay. But I feel like they have just something so very special, so relatable, and I guess there could be bigger things to that, but it feels special when it comes to them. So I feel like the friends that Mio made along the way really turns into, we are a family now, and doesn't matter if we're together or apart, though I'm pretty sure they're gonna be staying together. They're gonna stand firm and stand strong and support one another and encourage one another and love each other. I really love that. It's another aspect or part of this manga that I deeply, deeply love and find it so very special because these covers look so cute, right? Like, it looks like it's to be like a sweet, feel-good kind of story with some adventure and just some funness. Y'all, this series has some really impacting themes, not just found family, but it dives into some topics that are relatively dark and is able to highlight issues that I never imagined a series that seems so cute was in Ribbon, of all things. I mean, not saying Ribbon series couldn't have deeper topics, but it was very deceiving originally when I looked at this. I was just gonna be a series about a mermaid and wanted to stay a mermaid, but no, it goes so much deeper than that. And so those found family vibes are very much a cornerstone for Mio's life. And I feel like so many of these characters that they would not be the people that they are. Mio herself would not be the young woman that she's at the end if it hadn't been for basically this family that has come together, especially when her blood-related family in the beginning has isolated her, banished her, told her, you have to be somebody else but who you are. She's accepted by people who care for her and are concerned for her well-being. And when she's like, hey, I want the unhumans and the humans to come together and live in peace, they're supporting that. Your family's the only one that can support that. I mean, yeah, she may find people along the way that agree and become an ally, but again, there are characters in this series that are so much more than an ally or a friend. They are a family, and it's beautiful. Another series I would definitely recommend and very, very much love and need to come back to and do a formal video review so I can gush about all the things. And for number 5, last but not least, this was another series that came to mind that I do think has these found family vibes, though it does have an actual family, but I don't know. You tell me what you think if you think I'm on point here. I'm going to say The Two Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiance and sold to Another Kingdom. I know I recently just talked about this I talked about it in my top 5 most anticipated releases of November, and how Volume 4 is on that list now, even though I was sort of behind on the manga. And I also have a first impression of Volume 1 if you're curious of my thoughts of what I felt about the first volume. So this is about our young female lead here. Her name is, oh my gosh, I don't remember her name either. I remember her sister's name because it's Mia and it's very easy and simple, but she is this ultra powerful saint. Like, she's one of the most powerful saints in her country, and she's engaged to the second prince, I think it is. Pretty sure she's engaged, yeah, to the second prince. And the thing is, he is like, you're boring, you don't smile, you're not pretty, you're too concerned about everybody else's business, you're taking away people's jobs, rah, 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 negative, negative, negative. So he ends up selling her, or doing a deal of sorts, to get her to go to a different kingdom away from him so that he can actually propose to her sister. Now, I will just warn, because it may sound like, well, these sisters are butting heads. No, these sisters are related by blood, so there's not necessarily that found family trope necessarily for their relationship, but it is beautiful. These sisters care for one another. You're not going to find any, I hate my sister, and be super spiteful and, try and steal her man. None of that, friends. None of that. I would recommend the manga just for that alone, personally. But where I feel the found family vibe really comes in is when our female lead, when she goes to this other country, she is treated so incredibly different. I mean, she's really been treated horribly by majority of the people in her own home country who do feel she's stealing jobs, and nobody's realizing yet she is super OP, but she has a deep love for her country and wanting to help them. Nobody sees that, of course, until she's gone. So it says when she goes to this new country, she's really nervous. She's like, they're probably not gonna like me. I'm just gonna do my best. No, they have the soldiers stand salute, welcome her in. And if that was not enough, look at his smile. He's so thankful to have her, that this saint would be willing to come to their country and help protect them from evil things that are to come. Not only that, but yeah, even I guess you'd say the church welcomes her, like everybody in this new country welcomes her with open arms. And I feel like that is just the beginning, because when she gets a maid and a butler, they may be just a maid and a butler, but these two right here, they do not simply work for our female lead. No, they genuinely care for her. Like, I related so much to the maid here. She's like telling our main female lead, she's like, I want to see you smile. I'm gonna do what I can to make you smile. And I just feel like you can't have that kind of mindset unless you're viewing this other person with love, genuine love in your heart. I keep wanting to say the word adopting, but you know, I guess mentally adopting them as like, this is my sister. Like, this is more than, again, just somebody that you're working for. They genuinely care for her well-being on more than just a saint level. Like, yes, she's the saint, but when they look at her, they're not seeing her saint status as something they need to respect simply because she's a saint. No, they're seeing her because they care for her and they love for her and they respect her and they want the best for her because of those feelings, not just because of a title that she has alone. And right here, she says, I want you to cherish yourself. And I'm like, yes, those were my favorite panels in this manga because I resonated with it. I feel like, and I would say as the manga goes on, that you're seeing these gentle found family vibes, that these people care for her on such a deep level that is beautiful, because she really, even though she had this family, they put Mia on a pedestal and they loved her so much more because she wasn't as beautiful, because she didn't smile as much, because she was too obsessed with work, like all these excuses that were lame in the end, honestly. And so our female lead doesn't know what love is. And so I feel like these people are just coming together, not to love her necessarily romantic, though I'm shipping a ship, if you know what I mean, but that they're coming to love her as a family, that they're bringing her and showing her, like wrapping them in her arms, or yeah, I think I said that right. And they're wrapping her in their arms and just showing, hey, this is love by a family. This is what it means to be cared by people who love you and view you again as a family. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. And I feel like it's just an added bonus to have, I guess you'd say, blood-related family as well. That's Mia specifically. We're talking about Mia. We ain't talking about their parents. No, we're not talking about them. But man, I feel like the found family vibes maybe are a little bit more subtle. They're not as open, say, as the other series, but I feel like they're definitely no less impactful. Like, I feel like all these people that I feel like are in our girls' family now, I can't help but root for them and their actions and be like, yes, show her what love is, show her, tell her, love on her, because she deserves the world and more. Like, she deserves a family, and that is something I so desperately want to see for her as this series goes on. Like I talked about in that most anticipated video about, and maybe no, not a read and wrap up video yet, but in that video that I did talk about how, yes, I want to see Mia's revenge and whatnot, despite that I'm not a big person on revenge, but ultimately, I'm here for our girl. I'm here to see this found family trope, to see it explored, to see it highlighted, and to see it absolutely shine in a way that for our girl, she never imagined experiencing having something like this. It is incredible. It is awesome. And as you can see, I was very passionate and excited for all of these series. I hope that you feel that they are accurate. Let me know what you think. How did I do? Do you feel that yeah, these fit? Are there other underrated series that you know of that you deeply love that you're like, man, I need you to know about, Lara, because again, there's something very special about, it doesn't matter the demographic, I should add, there's just something special about this trope that I just can't get enough of. And I hope that's the same for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.